DPR Korea with a player down. And now the medical team is out. It's an unfortunate accident early on. We do have a player down. We were not prepared for that at all, but now we do have other medical staff from presumably from other teams coming in to the rink to help out. We do have to thank the medical team here in Hong Kong, China. I believe we do have the support from the government.
My friend, how are you?
Well, we're trying to figure out what to do right now. It looks like from what we saw, it was something like a high stick into the head area. This player had a gash on his near his eye area. With bleed, with blood guttling out. So we see the linespersons now clearing the blood from the ice. And I'm sure the injured player will be receiving very good attention. And now we have the linespersons and the referee talking about where the face-off might resume. And it's going to be a double minor, so it's very likely going to be a high sticking call causing injury. And it's a penalty to number 97, Jared Julian Neri. Number 97, DC in the box for 4. Certainly hope the player's going to be all right, but it's unfortunate with such an incident happening so early in the game, and now DPR Korea is going to be without a player for an extended period of time. So as soon as the gates close, we will be resuming face-off. Finally set. Taking a face-off for DPR Korea. Number 17, Park Yong-go, the alternate captain. In terms of world rankings, DPR Korea is going to be the favorite of this game, with the Philippines being the underdogs. So we know the Filipinos, they will fight till the end. They're fearless in blocking shots. Here's number 2, Pak Kum Gwang, on to the right side with a long shot block. sends the other way. 3:22 remaining in the power play. DPR Korea goes for a change. Jong Tae-jong sends it to the left to Kim Dong-jong. Quick movement there with a shot. Goalie made the save. Nice passing. DPR Korea. North, left to right, back to left. Fans on the shot. Now play goes back out into the neutral zone. 2:44 still to go to double minor. 2:97, Jared Julian Neri. DPR Korea coming out from their own zone speed. 21, Paek Chung-kyuk. To Han Kon-choi with a shot. Still no score in the opening period. 2:22 remaining in double minor. Filipinos almost cutting off the first one. Here was the check from number 25, Steven Fuglister. No calls there. Steven Fuglister, also a big player himself. Trying to get it out of the zone, but the puck hits somebody on the Filipino bench. Now the linesperson reminding the team to not lean so much out into the rink. I think the puck hit the backup goalie. Face off back in the Filipino zone. 2 minutes exactly remaining in power play. So they killed off the first one. Here's another chip almost sent into the Filipino bench again. Filipinos, here is a breakout. Here's number 71. Losing the puck. Filipino again on the left side, chips it in. Number 71, Cremonese gives chase. Number 23 is Rim Jung-won on the left side. Cutting in for a shot. Goalie made the save. Great save by the goalie. But the Koreans still have possession of the puck with another long shot. This one high. Minute 18 remaining in double minor. The goalie, Francois Gauthier in the zone. Number 4, Ryo Hee-sung with the puck. On to the right side with a long shot. This one blocked by number 11, Tristan Cremonese. 16:23 to go with a clearance. 1 minute to go in the power play. Here comes DPR Korea with a shot. They score. 1-0 for DPR Korea, and here they go celebrating. There's a nice centering pass to the middle of the slot area, and one times it. Goalie Francois Gauthier goes out to challenge the puck, and he probably blocked, was screened through the traffic and wasn't able to get a clear view of the shot. 1-0 DPR Korea. All penalties have expired as DPR Korea was able to score a power play goal in their second attempt. Here's a chip. Number 18, Arrow Regencia chips it in. Gave it away to the DPRK North Koreans. DPRK coming in from behind the net. Philippines chips it out into the neutral zone. Number 17, Park Young-jo. to 13. Hwang Il-nam on to the right side, chips it in with a hit, takes a hit. No calls there. The DPR Korean bench calls for a penalty, but the referee did not. Hwang Il tried to get it in. Now he does. The number 71, Sayo Cremonese with the puck. Great shot there, almost gets it. Number 7, and they score! The Filipinos tie the game up with 14:34 remaining in the opening period. What a game here. Number 71, Cremonese, right in front of the net, sends it in, and it's a tie game. .26 to go in the opening period. 1-1 tie between the Philippines and DPR Korea. Here is Korea coming in. Number 21, Park Chung-guk with the shot. Goalie made the save. Great back and forth action between these two teams. And with the shouts and screams of the Filipino fans, the atmosphere in the building is heating up. DPR Korea coming in, number 14, Han Kum-choi with a shot, and they score! Cheers from the Filipino fans quickly die down. And number 14, Han Kum-choi goes in and sends it straight into the net. Goalie comes out to challenge, but a shooter takes the far side and picked the corner, sent it in for the game-leading goal. An exciting opening to this game here between Philippines and DPR Korea. Facing off, number 17, the alternate captain Park Yung-jo. To number 7, Ho Kong-nam. Park Hong-gwang. Tips it out, intercepted by the Filipino, try to tip it in. Going after the forward check is number 61, Manny Bilonis. Huge hit onto the boards. Uncalled, and now we have the Filipinos coming back again. Nice turn and pass, intercepted by DPR Korea. Here is DPR Korea again. There's an onside play. The Filipinos going into the attacking zone. Keeps it in, sends it back down deep, but not enough bodies in the attacking zone. Number 13, Hwang Il-nam for DPR Korea. Filipinos try to chip it away. Onto the left side. Filipinos playing a great open game so far. This opening period, being able to come toe-to-toe to the DPR Koreans. Number 11, Tristan Cremonese with a shot onto the side. The Filipinos playing like it's a home game. Long shot, post saved by the goalie. 71, Sayo Cremonese. Be careful of the too many men penalty, as it was a slow change. by a player returning to the bench. Here it goes again. That's something the Filipinos need to take care of during the intermission, or else they might get called for one or even more. We've seen the women's tournament, multiple teams being caught in those gates from the benches. The quicker teams get used to jumping off the bench, the better it is. With DPR Korea coming back from their own zone, calling for the puck, number 14. Ham Kun Choi on the right side, down into the end zone, unable to keep possession of the puck, but quickly gets up. DPR Korea with a long shot, this one through traffic. Goalie made a blind save. And the Filipinos coming back out. Number 20, Carlo Angelo Higaronita. Dumps it back in. North Korea with DPR Korea coming back out from their own zone. Gilonis, number 61 with a shot. This one gloved down by the goalie. Fires it down to the right side. Here is number 13, Hwang Il-nam. To number 2, Pak Kum Hwang. Nowhere to go, so he sends it back to number 7, Ko Kong Nam. Nice pass there, sends it, goalie missed it. Puck hits the side of the net. Huge hit along the boards. Here's another shot by DPR Korea. Another shot, this one wide. Good defense played by the Filipinos, clogging up their danger zone in front of the net. Trying to keep the Koreans out of the slot area. There's number 4, Liu Hui-sung with another shot. Very high workload for the goalie. Two wants to score with 9.5 minutes remaining in the opening period. Shots on goals, 8-5 in favor of DPR Korea. Couple of hits and pushes right in front of the Korean bench. Kaio Cremonese in front of the net. Goalie made a save. And now we have some tussle in front of the net as the goalie, the referee whistled down play. Watch out from the shot from the left corner. Puck never crossed the line, and the goalie was pushed in. A great play by the goalie, number 1, Kim Kang-gun. 9:13 remaining in the opening period. Good game so far. Long shot by the Filipinos. Nine more to go. Koreans trying to break out of their own zone. Kyle Cremonese, or rather Manny Gilonis, took a couple of hits. Here's one throwing one of his own. He loses a stick momentarily. Hurries to pick his stick back up. He joins his defense. The Philippines sending it in. Early on in the game, Manny Gilonis, the alternate captain, showing force and strength. This has been contributing to quite a number of offensive attacks. Number 12, Einsen Ham. Tries to bring it out of their own zone. Gets it to Aro Regencia. Cho Wing-sung. Unable to get it out. Filipinos keeps it in. Sharp angle, no shot. Puck bounce behind the board net. Along the boards to the right side. Number 25, Steven Flister, dumps it around. With DPRK, the Koreans having all sorts of problems getting back out into the attacking zone. Now they do, but they risk icing, and it is going to be icing. High-paced game after the injury to the Korean player. The game is a one-goal game between these two teams. We already know the top dogs of this team, this division, is going to be the Uzbekistani team. Now everyone else, they're going to be on their ice, try and show everyone else they're going to be up against the challenge. Looking around, very distinctive looking North Korean or DPR Korean personnel or fans. DPR Korea with a goal of their own. Face up in the Filipino zone, 3-1 to score. DPR Korea in the lead. And with that goal, they've just extended the lead to 2 with a near side shot. Backhand, not a lot of strength, but the goalie was right there to cover it. Shots on goal, 9-5. 12-6 in favor of DPR Korea. Face off in the Filipino zone. Here comes DPR Korea, cut to hit. This Filipino team surprisingly good with their body checking. Gets it down deep. DPR Korea with a clearance attempt out into the neutral zone. 2-on-2 opportunity. Onside play. Centering pass. Filipinos able to clear it. Oh no, they don't. Here comes DPR Korea with a shot. This one blocked. The Filipinos sends it down. Number 17, George Javier. Pak Hom Gwang on to the left side with speed. Narrow angle shot. Blocker saved by the goalie Francois Gauthier. 71, Kyle Primanise. Eisenham sends it out, intercepted. Now DPR Korea has their own attack. Long shot, rebound chance. Goalie steered it to the side of the rink. Kyle Primanise backhands it. Picked up by DPR Korea with a long shot. Blocker save again by the goalie. DPR Korea with a chance. Shoots. Hits a body in front of the net. A huge crowd believe they shot on their own goalie. And now the Korean goalie put his glove on the puck to freeze it for a face-up in their own zone. 5:19 to go in this high-intensive period. Great energy displayed by both sides. You would think Philippines would have the advantage given the number of fans who showed up and being in a familiar climate. Philippines and Hong Kong do have a similar climate, both warm. Oh, here's a shot from DPR Korea into the Filipino forward. Pushed into the net, knocking the net off. Pay attention on the right side of the screen right there, number 4. Yoo Hee-sung. That shot, that push, when unnoticed. Face up in the Korean zone with 5:14 to go in the first period. Filipinos with the face-up win, sends it back down. Look at the energy DPRK has. Very, very jumpy to their skating. Just have to wonder if that can extend into the very last period. I was talking about Filipinos maybe having the advantage in terms of playing in a familiar climate, hot and humid. Of course, Hong Kong is not going to catch up with the Filipinos in terms of heat. But we do play in the same conditions where we have softer ice, humid air, and for a lot of these visiting teams from Europe, Eurasia, possibly North Korea, where it's drier, a lot of players find themselves out of breath because of the denser air and also with the softer ice. By the time the third period strikes, a lot of players would find themselves fatigued, not knowing what happened, not knowing the cause. Sometimes it's just because the puck doesn't slide as far. Oh, here comes DPR Korea again. Cross ice pass, just missing the connection. Puck chipped into the midair and whistled down by the linesperson. I was saying in a softer, soft ice, the puck doesn't slide as far. Passing don't feel the same. The skating takes a lot more effort to start and stop and turn. You don't glide as far as a player. And Uzbekistan played this last game, did not have such a problem. Mostly because of their professional level training and conditioning. But for everyone else, there's going to be this challenge. And this is where the home team advantage comes into play. 3-1 still the score. DPR Korea leading by 2 goals. 3:40 to go in the opening period. Here's the captain, Steven Futlister, sends it in. Number 4, Yoo Hee-sung, chips it out into his own bench, almost taking out his own teammate on the head, by the way. And it's also noted that the bench design here is a little different from most other ice rinks you've seen. If you take a look at the screen itself, the entire bench is inside the entire zone. Right now it's the DPR Korea zone. So when it comes time for change in the second period, that's when a lot of players are struck by the distance. They have to skate back to the bench. So last 2 weeks, a week ago, we saw the women's tournament, and by the end of the tournament, you'd see all of the teams very, very disciplined with very quick change. Sometimes 30-second, 40-second changes. Sometimes a touch and they go back because they realize the distance between themselves and the bench, and decided, well, that skate back to the bench is what, 10 seconds, so add that to my ice time. I better get changed now. And it worked out fine for most of the teams. 2 weeks ago. And for this week, the men's edition of the World Championships, some of the teams, they haven't arrived very early on. Some teams arrived just yesterday or the day before yesterday. So they haven't had a lot of chances to get used to the rink, the place, the players, the ice, the food and all that, and even the hotel rooms, and all those really come into play when you have a short-term tournament where every single factor could mean a difference between winning and losing a game. 2.5 minutes to go. DPR Korea, number 2, Pak Kum Gwang. To Hwang Il Nam. Cho Tung Nam sends it in, goalie had to make a stick save. And Pak Kum Gwang takes it into the zone and it's blown offside. 2:07 to go in the opening period. Past few minutes, pace of the game seems to have slowed down a little bit. Perhaps the teams finding themselves being fatigued already. And watching the game from the side around the arena, certainly lots of Filipino connections here in Hong Kong. I do see DPR Korea personnel, or maybe backup players not dressed for the match. Some Luxembourg fans scouting these two teams. Some debris on the rink in the neutral zone near the DPR Korea blue line. Looks like something from a skate fell out. Here's a huge hit from number 61, Manny Belonis. Armed immediately up by the referee from Chinese Taipei Shen Yen Chin. As we take another look at that huge hit onto the boards. Look at that. It's a deliberate hit. It could be worse. But the referee Shen Yen Chin decided 2 minutes was enough. 1:22 to go in the period. DPR Korea leading by 2 goals. DPR Korea players certainly very pumped up for the power play as they realize this is a golden opportunity for them to extend their lead into 3. 2 is nice, but 3 is better. That's an offside call against DPR Korea. And I must say, DPR Korea, very, very well played game today. Players seemingly in a relaxed mood. During the last tournament in 2025, DPR Korea had amassed themselves quite a good number of penalty minutes. Sometimes the language doesn't work, and communication with the officiating crew fails and breaks down. Koreans resort to playing even more physical and trying to take revenge of what they might perceive as unfair calls. Sometimes communication is really important, and they've received quite a lot of penalties over the past years. If they could keep that in check, they do stand a chance. DPR Korea did perform very well last year, finishing ahead of Hong Kong, China. Here's a chance for DPR Korea. Quickly batted away by the Filipinos. 4 more seconds, 1 more shot. This one hit a Filipino player, and that would do it for the opening period. Filipinos, number 24. Eichner Jigmak Sieper took a shot favoring his right leg. Now he's skating off, grimacing, but he does have a whole 18 minutes to recuperate. We'll also take a break. When we're back, we'll bring you the second period between this game between DPR Korea and the Philippines.
Welcome to 2026 IIHF Ice Hockey Men's World Championship Hong Kong, China, Division 3 Group B. Welcome to 2026 IIHF Men's World Championship Hong Kong, China, Division 3 Group B.
welcome back to TV Ice Rink in Discovery Bay, Hong Kong, China. We are located in the southwestern side of Hong Kong, China. We are on an island called Lantau Island. This is where the airport is and another world-renowned theme park, as well as this wonderful community called Discovery Bay. And here comes the second period underway. Another 20 minutes of play. After one period, DPR Korea leading by 2 goals. The score is 3-1. Shots on goals after the first period, 14-8 in favor of DPR Korea. And it has to be noted that DPR Korea is without one player. The player is injured. Early beginnings of the game. And since then, 4 goals have been scored between these two teams. DPR Korea with a power play goal. And the Filipinos come back to tie it 1-1. DPR Korea with the game go-ahead goal 30 seconds later. 40 seconds later, to be exact. Past the midway mark of the first period, DPR Korea with the 3rd goal of the day, and now it is 3-1 for DPR Korea. Near the end of the first period, Filipino alternate captain, number 61, Manny Pilones, with a boarding penalty. And that one expired. And now teams are back to equal strength, 5-on-5. The Philippines. The number 2, LR Lancero. To Pilones. LR Lancero, full name Leonard Rigel II. Leonard Rigel Il Lancero, commonly known as LR. As mentioned early on, folks from Hong Kong very familiar with folks in the Filipino squad. A lot of games in between during these regional tournaments we have here in Asia. And Asia is actually quite a budding place for ice hockey. Tournaments, international tournaments every single month, adults and youth tournaments. Just here in Hong Kong, hockey schools. I think there's at least 6, 7, or 8 of them. Even more. The only limiting factor is the number of venues that we can play the game. And here in Hong Kong, every single, or nearly every single ice hockey rink is a commercially owned venue, with most of them located in shopping centers. And when an ice rink is in a shopping center, ice time is going to be expensive. So that's one of the biggest hurdles that's limiting the development of ice hockey here in Hong Kong, China. I'm sure it's the same thing with a lot of the different places around the region. And for those places who manage to get themselves an ice rink that could be had for relatively a more reasonable cost, those places tend to have an exponential growth in the sport, as we've seen in Chinese Taipei, Thailand. And the Philippines is one of the places where they're like Chinese Hong Kong, China, still hoping and fighting, trying to secure a built-for-purpose ice hockey arena. DPR Korea, sharp angle shot, this one wide. But the slid across the crease in front of the goalie, Francois Boutier. Here's number 6, John Glenn Lagleva. DPR Korea with a shot, number 14, Han Kun Choi. Oh Kwang Song with a shot. Passes behind. Back to Kwang Yo Nam with a long shot, saved by the goalie. Great performance by Gauthier, the goalie. Dong Song Gak sends it in. Liu Pi Song takes it back into the corner, iced by the Filipinos. Ham Kum Choi on the right. So Rim Ju Wong on to 21 Pak Chung Jok. Turns around. A battle in the corner. Another boarding. Check into the corner. Now 4 players trying to chip the puck out of the corner. Now Belonis has it. Coming in with speed, number 17, Jeff Sahavier. Great speed the Filipinos have. They can also play the body. There's a near too many men penalty, and now we have a penalty assist by the referee signaling an elbowing call. But going into the box is from DPR Korea, number 14, Han Kum Choi, the first line forward. Now also mean the Filipinos are going to enjoy a 2-minute power play on the Koreans here. Down by 2 goals, a great opportunity to climb back, narrow down the lead a little. Pak Hong Kwang tries to send it down the ice, intercepted by the Filipinos. On to the left side in front of the net. The white shirt trying to jostle for position. Now he's pushed out of the danger zone. DPR Korea with a clearance. The goalie comes out to play the puck, slides it the other way. '61 Manny Belonis. Cross ice. The 25 Steven Fuglister. Back to Belonis. Belonis showing good skills onto the right side. Coming close with a shot. This one deflected by the goalie. Still Filipino possession. 1 minute remaining in the power play. Turns around, bring it back to the corner. And now DPR Korea sends it down the ice to kill up some important time from the penalty clock. Koreans going for a change here. The Filipinos going back. Cremonese back to Regencia. Regencia with this puck. On to the right side, pinned down into the boards. Puck goes back the other way to the left side of the attacking zone. 13:30 to go in the power play. Belonis on the side, center pass, shoots, no goal. And another shot, still kept out by the goalie. Now there is a shuffle, tuffle, shoving in front of the net. And players going at each other. First a save. Near goal right here in front of the net. And then now back out. And we have another, and then that's the replay for the tussle here. Players going at each other. And now the referees going in for a chat with the Filipino zone. Take a look at a tussle again in front of the goal. the shot from the back, and here's another shot in the back. Seemingly from this angle, everything originated from the DPR Korean side. 1, 2, 3, and then the Filipinos strike back, and then more pushes. And in the end, nothing happened. Here's a shot, saved by the goalie. And more pushing in front of the net. I'm sure they're just exchanging, I don't know, Easter greetings against each other. Good cultural exchange between the players, I presume. Players know they have to keep their gloves on. This is IIHF hockey. Fighting is not an easy thing to get away from. But now we are seeing more and more physical play after the tussles. You see player trying to levy the hits. And this is when officiating becomes more and more important. Here is DPR Korea with a sharp angle shot deflected off Belon's stick. Centering pass with a one-timing shot. Goalie Gaultier steers it aside. Interception by the Filipinos, sends it down the ice. The teams are back to 5 apiece, and now another set clearance attempt. And due to where the bench is located, it's still offside. This is where things get tricky with changes, is when you are already in an offside position and the entire team goes for a change. The offside is not going to be cancelled out because everyone is still in the attacking zone, because the bench is entirely in the attacking zone in that instance. And we're seeing the head coach for DPR Korea, Mr. Il, very unhappy with his squad. Talking with a very, very stern face. Il, a long time DPR Korean coach, overseeing the national team program. Here's number 11, Tristan Cremonese under the side, took a hit, sends it down. DPR Korea with the puck now. Skates up the center. It's an onside play. (17) with a shot, stick saved by the goalie. Here's another shot by number 2, Pak Kwang. This one deflected, but safely corralled by DPR Korea. Very nice pass there to number 17, Pak Yong-jo. Pak with a shot, this one wide and high, backhanded. Pak stationed in front of the goalie. Gets the puck. Nice give and goal there. Back to the blue line, play is kept onside. Number 2, Pak Kwang. Filipino sends it down. No icing as they were able to beat the icing call. Great period, almost half of it done. Another shoving, another push along the sideboards. Kim Pong-yong. Lonis corrals the puck from the sideboards, brings it into the neutral zone. Here comes Javier with a shot block. Puck ended up in the corner, hit. Huge hit in the corner, no calls by the referee, and now the Koreans sends it down, beating icing. Getting to the puck first, looking for options now. From the back, number 18, Kim Pong-yong. Here's another shot. Blocked and corralled by the Filipinos on the left side, sends it down. Great breakaway chance by DPR Korea. Deeks, goalie made the save. Puck ended up behind the goalie. More Koreans. bringing it back. Backhands it, goalie make the save, cover it for a face-up in their own zone. But that was a great save by the goalie, Francois Gauthier. Look at this nice feed. The stretch pass out, waiting. A couple of moves, but the goalie was so big in front of the net, he's blocked every single corner available to the shooter. Look how far out he challenges. And there wasn't enough moves in the shot to fake out the goalie. 9.5 minutes to go in the period as we just move past the halfway mark of the game. DPR Korea still with a 2-goal lead. And the hitting seemingly died down a little bit as the teams calmed down from the earlier scrum in front of the DPR Korean goalie in Kim Kang-gun. Francois Gauthier pokes at the puck. Nice spin around by Jeffrey Sol Kyung. One time hit in front of the net. This one missed. DPR Korea number 3, Go Wing Sung. With a long shot wide. Laglev going for the puck in the attacking zone, but DPR Korea sends it back the other way. Korean coach Lee Pong-il very, very vocal, standing in front of the bench, directing his players. Regencia. Lanzero. Tristan Cremonese. Surprisingly well-oiled Filipino squad here today. Smooth passing and the team chemistry actually shows how well these players play with each other. Long shot through traffic, hits a leg. That one deflected wide of the goal. DPR Korea into the slot, shoots, hits an elbow. That has to hurt. Here's another shot through traffic. Seemingly DPR Korea happy with the perimeter shots. But they are creating a lot of traffic in between the shot and the net. So they've been, oh, here's a hit by the Philippines. That one not called. This Pelones turns around, centering attempt to find number 71, Kyle Cremonese. Now players pushing at each other in the corner, centering pass for the shot. This one wide. Glister battling for the puck. Captain looking slow. He needs to go change soon. And now DPR Korea with their own chance. Nice speed. Picking up at the blue line. Gives it back. Now lots of traffic in front of the net and goalie. Francois Gauthier with another save. Here's that hit earlier. Long. Right there behind the net of DPR Korea. Still a 2-goal game we have here between DPR Korea and the Philippines. Not by a lot, leading. We've gone to a great start in the first period, but the Filipinos showing a lot of resilience in fending off DPR Korea. And then goes, after this period, it's going to be the third period. That's going to be when we find out. That's when we find out whether DPR Korea will be affected by the climb. Oh, that's a goal. They keep going perimeter, and finally it works. This time the puck goes through everybody in the crowd, fooling the goalie into the net. Look at how many players are there. There are between a goalie and a shooter. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. The goalie does not have a clear view of the shot. Those goals are the worst for a goalie because you know you could stop it. You just couldn't see it. And now it's 4-1 DPR Korea. DPR Korea with another shot steered aside by the goalie, Francois Gauthier. Here's a hit onto the boards. Shots on goals, 20-11 for DPR Korea. The goal is now scored by number 4, Liu Hui-song. Another hit along the board. DPR Korea from behind the net stops, goes the other way with a long shot. This one along the side, slightly wide. Smart strategy from the DPRK coach and Lee Hong-il. Sticking to the blue line shooting strategy. And here is another goal. The puck just managed to squeak past the goalie into the net. And that's going to be 5-1 DPR Korea. Spins around with a shot. The goalie had a piece of it, but it wasn't enough to stop the goal from going into the net. Here's the shot, goalie with a blocker save, but it trickled through the goalie into the net for the 5th goal. Everything was quiet in the second period for at least half a period, and all of a sudden, DPR Korea managed to find the cracks and break things loose. 5-1 to score. Philippines find themselves in a deep hole. Here's another shot. This one went through. 4:10 remaining. Here's another shot from a far. Fearlessly blocked by Einstein Ham. And here is Nani Bolonis. Bolonis goes past everyone, makes the shot. This one steered aside by the goalie. That's going to be, may not be offside. DPR Korea might have beaten the offside, but the linesperson's deemed it's an offside call. Again, you got to give credit to DPR Korea for being cool with the decision. 3:37 to go in the period, 5-1 the score. Pak Kum Kwang sends it the other way. Huge hit by number 17, Jeff Javier. Park Luk Wong off to number 6. Here is Aro Regencia. DPR Korea with the puck, 4-on-3. 4-on-3 coming in, unable to make the pass. Going the other way, number 61, Bolones with a shot, pad save by the goalie. Here is another shot. Another one is a goal. Manny Bolones, maybe he didn't score, but he surely started all this. For the first breakaway, shoots, unable to make the goal. The goalie fumbled with the rebound. And Aro Regencia was able to put the rebound into the net, climbing a little closer to DPR Korea, and the score is 5-2. Here's Tristan Kyle Cremonese with another shot in front of the goalie, number 61, Mandy Bolones with a shot, this one wide. 2.5 minutes to go in the second period. Philippines with the puck in their own zone. Pastrana, number 22. Bolones left down by number 10, Jong Song Gak. Sent it in, and the Filipinos corrals it. 2 minutes to go in the second. Cremonese with the puck going in, that's number 71, Kyle, that is. Bolones, he's been out there for awful long time, but he's still fighting. And it's going to be offside. No, it's onside. Give and go. Throws the hit and gets the puck back. What a player. And now he goes back for a change. Icing against DPR Korea with 1:39 to go in the second. Great effort showing by the Filipinos. Surely the effort has not gone unnoticed. See all these Filipino fans cheering, clapping, applauding these heroes of the country. DPR Korea also some teammates and personnel, those who traveled along with the team on the side of the rink, looking on as their team is still enjoying a 3-goal lead. There's going to be an icing call against the Filipinos. 1:23 to go in the second. And it's turning out to be quite an interesting game to watch. And a reminder for everyone, tonight at 8:30 local time, Hong Kong, China play host to Luxembourg. Stay tuned. Well, I don't think stay tuned is a good word to use anymore, right? Click on to IIHF TV. Want to watch that game, or just go to our website in www.hkciha.com for coverage of these games. Here's a nice spin around shot by number 13, Wang Il Nam. That one went wide. 1 minute to go in the period. DPR Korea with a lot of speed still in the late stages of the period. Here's a side slide and another pass again. That one didn't connect. Here is a 2-on-2. Filipinos going in. Sideways pass. Missed the pass. Kyle Cremonese was right there. And 30 seconds to go. Filipinos find it again. Kyle Cremonese on the left side. Going to slide the puck into the attacking zone. Now he gets it. With a different Cremonese, it's Tristan. 15 seconds to go. Kyle Cremonese, 10 more seconds. Down by 3 goals with a shot. This one wide. 5 more seconds to go. And that would do it for the second period. 5-2 the score. DPR Korea still in the lead with 3 goals. But it's a really well played period for both sides. Take a short break. When we're back, the third period for you fine folks wherever you are. This is IIHF.tv. afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to DB Ice Rink in Hong Kong, China. This is the IIHF Ice Hockey World Championships, Division 3 Group B. After 2 periods of play, the score is 5-2 with DPR Korea with the lead. Shots on goal, 21-16, in favor of DPR Korea. For the second period, it's a much more balanced period compared to the first. DPR Korea, number 14, with 2 goals. Number 14, Han Kong Choi with 2 goals. Also with goals, number 13, Hwang Il Nam. Liu Hui Song, number 4. And number 23, Rim Ju Won. And for the Philippines, number 18, Aro Regencia with their second goal. And John Uglister with the first goal. The third period is now underway. Another 30 minutes. Team in red is DPR Korea, and in white, the Philippines. Given the number of Filipinos here in Hong Kong, naturally, Team Philippines does have a lot of fans in the arena to support and cheer on for this team. About 4 to 5 DPR Korea team officials also in the stands watching the game. Comparatively a little more quiet and calm. Number 2, Park Hong Guang, one of the more well-rounded defenders of the team. Been playing a great game. Carrying the puck out of the zone and also controlling play in the attacking zone. Through the first 2 periods, DPR Korea been having success with scoring along the blue line while crowding the slot area, and now we have a penalty and a player down. Player down looks to be 25, Stephen Fuglister, the captain, getting up slow. Here's another shot of a hit right there. 1, 2, not the elbow from the back, catching the waist area. Line person's probably telling Stephen Fuglister that we stopped the play because you were injured, so you have to go back into the bench for a substitution. And in comes Manny Belonis, arguably one of the better performers on the team today. Very, very large player on the Filipino side. Never afraid to throw a hit and does contribute to numerous offensive attacks. Face off in DPR Korean zone. Philippines with the face-off win, dumps it back down deep. DPR Korea tries to send it out. Now they do with the 3-on-3. The play was impeded in the neutral zone. Tristan Primanise sends it in. Kyle Criminese, they give chase, and now DPR Korea coming in. Two and a half minutes played this period. We know things are getting physical. And towards the end of the game, as the score gets closer, the time getting fewer, there's going to be more infractions and tussles between these two teams. Here's a hit from behind. That one also let go by the referee. Liu Hui-sung on to the left side to number 3, Cho Wi-sung. Park Chung-hyuk backhands it to the left side. Centering attempt, turns around, looking for a centering option. Keeps possession, sends it back down deep behind the net. Park Chung-hyuk, centering pass, unable to let off the shot. Here is the Philippines trying to come in for an attack. Got it into the attacking zone, but the rest of the team went for a change. Here is number 21 from DPR Korea, Park Chung-hyuk again. A little bump there on the right side of the rink. Filipinos coming out with it. Manny Baloney with the wrong shot. Swallowed by the goalie in number 25, Jong Kang-song. It made a change in net. Out went Kim Kang-hoon. Now playing for DPR Korea, number 25, Jong Kang-song. Philippines have climbed back in terms of shots on goals. Just 6 shots between these two teams, but 3 goals between them. Spinning around, cross ice pass, trying to get it to Steven Blister. Listed on the roster as John Steven Blister, but known as Steven to almost everybody in the scene. Well-known player. Face-off in the Filipino zone. Taking the face-off for DPR Korea, number 18, the alternate captain Kim Kong-yong. Out to the blue line, unable to keep it in. Now we have the Filipinos coming in for 2-on-2. Number 71 goes in, shoots in, no goal. Goalie stretches back to collect the puck. But it was an exciting breakaway chance by the Filipinos. Fortunately for them, the goalie made a great save. Here comes that breakaway chance by number 71, Kyle Criminese. Decided to go far side, but couldn't out-deke the goalkeeper. Look at how far out he challenges. The goalie forces Criminese send the puck wide. Here comes the Filipinos again. Potential 3-on-2, but it was deflected, it was stolen. Now a near goal by DPR Korea. And now Filipinos centering pass, that one missed. Back and forth attacks between these two teams. 3-on-4 for DPR Korea. Into the back, number 11, Jong Tae-byung. On to the other side to number 10, Jong Song-gak. Out getting closer to the net, number 16, Ho Kwang-song. On to the corner, centering pass. 14:20 to go, down by 3 goals. The Filipinos sends it down for a change. DPR Korea also goes for a change. On to the right, left side, tips it into the corner. Giving chase, the puck, the Filipinos loves it down, sends it forward. DPR Korea coming up close, shoots and he scores! 6-2. Play initiated from the left side. Couple of moves, finds nobody but net. Skates all the way into the slot area, unchecked, and finds so much time between him and the net. He's picked one of the corners and put it into the net. 6-2, DPR Korea. Things looking good for DPR Korea, but not so good for the Filipinos. Now they're having a 4-goal lead with just 13:40 to go in the game. I do not doubt the Filipinos' ability to score. The time is against them. Battle in the corner. Kim Il-choi to Pak Kong-wang. Pass. Cross ice pass. Kim Il-choi sends it down in deep. Almost an interception at the blue line. Now Filipinos coming in front of the goalie. It's number 61, Belones. Kyle Cremonese sends it in with a shot, goalie with a pad save. Korean goalie number 25, Jong Kang-sung, playing very well since he took over goalkeeping duties from Kim Kang-gun. Jong Tae-ryong. Another cross-ice pass picked up by Philippines. Onside play, but intercepted by North Korea. Here comes So Kyung. DPR Korea, Jong Song-gak sends it in. A huge hit behind the net there. Referee watching closely, but not assessing any penalties. Here's a shot through traffic, blocked. Here's another rebound, another shot. This one deflected, and now puck shot out of bounds and out of play. DPR Korea in the attacking zone. Face-up win by the Philippines. Very good game. Filipinos playing onside play here. Going into the net. Puck stripped away by DPR Korea. Number 21, Pak Chong-hyo. On to the sides. Takes it back, centering pass. Nobody there to get it. And now the Filipinos iced it down. No icing. Icing waved off by the linesperson. Pak Chong-hyo flips it to Han Kun-choi, number 14. Whips it along the board. Stolen by Tristan Cremonese. Tristan taken down by Kyle. Now DPR Korea with an attack, long shot, rebound. Goalie made another save. Great save by Francois Goutier. Philippines to the face-off win. Less than 11 minutes to go. Kim Il-choi. Hwang Il-nam tried to cut in. Goalie had a save. Puck went out of bounds. Here's that save previously made by Gauthier. That was a great one. Great save. Here's another one. Immediately takes down the rebound. Philippines coming up from the right side of speed. Number 2, LR. Lanzaro coming in. Puck quickly went back into DPR Korea's hands. Nice move there with a shot. This one wide. Here they come again from behind the net. Circles around looking for options. On the blue line with a shot. Hits the back of LR. From behind the net, out to the blue line again, another long shot. This one deflected off a stick. Kim Kwang-il skillfully avoided the hit. Back to the point man. 9:30 to go in the game. Takes another hit. Tries to spin around to get closer to the net. Now he does, goes in with a shot. Here's the rebound shot, both saved by the goalie. Philippines chips it up, and it's going to be icing. Here's that save made by Francois Gauthier from the back. Shuts the door, and the rebound to the other side. To go in the final regulation period. DPR Korea in the neutral zone, sends it in. Intercepted by number 71, Kyle Krimarise. Sends it down the ice, getting chased, Tristan Krimarise. Tristan and Kyle, the two forwards, going after the puck, the captain, Steven Kudlisker. DPR Korea sends it down deep. It's going to be an icing call against DPR Korea with 8.5 minutes to go. 6-2 to score. This team from DPR Korea. Very, very skilled team. Perhaps a little lacking in size, but this player's skills and speed more than makes up for it. Here is a shot saved by the goalie, and another fine save by Francois Gauthier. Certainly one of the pillars for the team. Face off in the Philippine zone. In front of that, goalie made another beautiful save. 8 minutes to go. Now DPR Korea with the puck. Along the blue line with another shot, gloved down by the goalie. Referee indicated a stoppage for a high stick. Face-off is going to be out of the zone. DPR Korea in the attacking zone, still trying to go for more goals. 6-2 the score. There's a hit behind the net. Players trying to fight for the puck. Looking for options for a centering pass. Unable to make the connection there. Corrals the puck back in the slot area. Little nice shot. This one hit a leg. Under 7 minutes to go. Number 4, Liu Hee Sung sends it down for an icing call. 6-2 still the score. DPR Korea looking to go away with a win in this game. Philippines with a shot from behind the net. Goalie made a save. Korean goalie, oh, it was a great shot. Goalie made the save, another save. Finally covers it for a face-off. .6:19 to go. Look at Francois Gauthier sliding left and right and left again. Sorry, left, right and left and then right again. Batting the puck away with a stick and then making the rebound save. Here's the captain, Stephen Verglister. North DPR Korea sends it back into the zone. A little over 6 minutes to go. Still a 4-goal lead. And DPR Korea applying more and more pressure, trying to stop the Filipinos from coming back into the game. They're playing safer as well, attacking less as the game goes on. 6-2. Still the score. These two teams play a game tomorrow. The first game face-off win taken by DPR Korea. Sends it out, 2-on-2 situation on the right side, cutting in, shot, goalie again makes the save, clutches it down. He does draw applause from the audience, but that's not going to be enough. Just by making saves, it's not going to bring his team victory in this game. Five and a half minutes to go in the game. Philippines trying to break out of their own zone. The potential offside play here. Player clears offside. Filipinos sends it back out into the neutral zone. Under 5 minutes to go, still 6-2. And we have another goal by DPR Korea, 7-2 the score. And they are going to take this win. Look at a nice cross-ice pass, feed it to the other side, far side, waiting there. Sweep the puck into the empty net. Nothing the goalie could do about it. Scoring the goal, number 18, Kim Hom-Ryong, the alternate captain. And the score is now 7-2. Remaining in the game. 5-goal lead. Another goal. A clear and direct goal. Cutting in all alone. It's going to leave no doubt for DPRK's victory. With the smooth skating, the deceiving moves. They look to go far side and went short side instead. And that shot fooling the goalie. The goalie had a clear shot of where the shot initiated from. Was just unable to make the save there. Now it's 8-2. Here's Tristan Cremonese cutting in with a shot. Goalie made a great save. Here's a hit from behind. Here's another save by the goalie. Now this goalie, Jong Kang Song, is going to give the head coach a headache. Here comes some tussling and jostling again. And right after the shot, players started pushing and shoving each other. And the linesmen were there very quickly to de-escalate the situation. Under 4 to go. Nice shot there and an even better save by the goalie. What a glove. Was right off the face-off with a shot to the far side. Look at that. The goalie just gloved it back from behind himself. That's going to be a great save right there. Here's another face-off in the DPR Korea zone. Whips it out into the neutral zone. Linesperson in the way, and now the Filipinos trying to come back. But it's down by 6 goals already. Certainly they would want to finish. It's an onside call. Steven Fuglister out for Kyle Cremonese. I'm sure the Filipinos want to thank the fans with a goal towards the end of the game. And they want to end the game on a high note. Just the first game in this tournament. There's 4 more games to play. against Uzbekistan, Hong Kong, China, Mongolia, and Luxembourg. But we've seen great performances from players like Manny Balonis, Arol, Regencia, Steven Puglister, just to name a few. Of course, the goalie in Francois Gauthier can't miss him. Puck slid across the crease. A little over 2 minutes to go. Here's a stretch pass, and it's going to be offside against the Philippines. 2:10 to go. Great demonstration of strength by DPR Korea. Final 2 minutes of the game. In comes DPR Korea with a long shot. This one wide on high. Here comes another glove save by the goalie. Couldn't get a hold of it. Puck bounce out. Back into the DPR Korean zone for an icing call. DPR Korea ranks 46th in world rankings, the second favorite in this year's tournament. The top favorite being Luxembourg at 44, but we've seen Uzbekistan play, and we know that number does not include Uzbekistan's 54th place ranking. Here's another great save by the goalie with 1:23 remaining. The Philippines, world ranking number 52. When you consider the difference between the rankings, you gotta give them so much credit for giving such a good battle this game against DPR Korea. So the Koreans not flashy, they don't have overwhelming size advantage, skill advantage like Uzbekistan, but they're still a great team here, and they were the silver medalists last year in Division 3B. So they are playing to that strength and one of the favorites in this division. And the Philippines, they finished 5th last season, just narrowly avoiding relegation into Division 4. So the Filipinos are expected to fight for survival, but this game surely turned a lot of heads because this has been a very good game by the Filipinos. Even though they're down by 6 goals, it has been really a good game. And when you realize the Filipinos, they don't have as many ice rinks as we do here in Hong Kong, and their resources are relatively limited compared to the rest of the teams here in Division 3B. You have to admire their performance. They're showing that's not a good hit on number 2. And 4 more seconds to go, and that should do it for the game. 8-2, the final score. And DPR Korea wins this one in a convincing fashion. They had a quick start to the game, but things kind of slowly mellowed out, and it seemed like the Filipinos had a chance to come back. That's when the DPR Korea decided to step on the gas, and push hard on the Filipinos. referees, the linespersons communicating with the DPR Koreans. Not everyone understands English, so the players directed them to captains, and the alternate captains almost certainly have more international experience. They were able to understand procedures of taking off the helmets for the awards. Now, as always, we'll be handing out the best player for each team. Best player from the Philippines, number 18, Haro Regencia. You certainly hear his fans chanting his name out loud. Not a lot of smiles on the Filipino squad here, but that's a great game they played. They should be feeling very proud of themselves. That's a really good showing. And now for DPR Korea. Number 14, Han Kum Choi, their best player, scoring 2 goals early on the game, taking their team to the victory path. Congratulations to these players. We'll now wait for the afternoon anthem for DPR Korea. Congratulations to DPR Korea and the updated standings. DPR Korea with a win with 3 points here. They rank second behind Uzbekistan because of goals differential. And Philippines in 5th place. Mongolia in the final spot in 6th place. Hong Kong, China, and Luxembourg coming up next at 8:30 local time. They will battle for 3 points. And that should do it for today's game. We'll be here for the 8:30 game, and We will start 15 minutes earlier for the opening ceremonies and the festivities. So tune in to IIHF.tv. My name is Scotty Yang on behalf of Hong Kong China Ice Hockey Association and the IIHF. Goodbye.